I tell you what, yes, it is true. I have been ready for this for well over a year.
Well, you know, we are live right now thanks to Mr. Tony Lightfoot at LANightJam.com. You can also catch it on your iPhones here, iphone.lanightjam.com. Tell all your friends who couldn't make it, your family, check it out live online, lanightjam.com. And, Tony, I see Mr. Les Todd and the number 3 LA Night Jam signature Mastercraft boat getting ready, do a little timing pass, or actually hook our skier right up and get rocking and rolling. Tony, seconds away from our first skier here at the LA Night Jam.
And I'll tell you what, she is absolutely giddy with excitement right now. Our first skier to take to the water in LA Night Jam 3 Women's Jump Final from France. Let's give it up for Marion Mathieu.
All right, Tony, so Marion looking to set the bar high for the rest of the ladies today. Definitely capable of putting one out there. Last year, putting a huge jump out at the Night Jam. And, hey, she's going to take the first ski off the dock and see if she can't put a little fear in the rest of our competitors.
Yes, indeed. And Marion Mathieu is very, very capable jumping towards 170 feet. But the one thing I really like about Marion Mathieu's jumping, it is absolutely technically perfect. I mean, she comes across the wake. Her extension off the top of the jump is perfect in terms of technique. And she gets good distance as a result.
All right, well, I see the lights of the boat coming into the course. Marion Mathieu pulling out wide. Tony, this is a timing buoy right here. So she's going to get her timing set, going to turn right before a 600-foot marker. Pull out wide. You see under the lights in the dark.
Make some noise!
Beautiful first jump out there for Marion as she floats it out there so gracefully. What a way to start things off, Tony. Marion Mathieu, great jump. We'll get the distance here in 1 second.
That was absolutely a beauty of a jump. Tad is actually getting the distance from me right now, but that is a wonderful first jump, especially 158 feet. That's only 3 feet shy of what she jumped earlier on this afternoon. Wow, she has set her stall out in a big way. 158, let's give it up for Marion Mathieu.
All right, Tone, that was a 157-foot opening jump right there. Great opening jump from Marion, almost matching her longest jump this afternoon. So make a couple adjustments here. Now things are a little bit more difficult under the lights, but Marion making it look real easy there on that opener.
Yes, definitely. You could just see the ease of her technique as she turns and sets her edges. There doesn't appear to be any bobble whatsoever. And she certainly doesn't get any bobble coming into the jump due to the water conditions, because quite honestly, these are the best jump conditions these skiers will ever see anywhere in the world in any given season.
All right, Tony, well, here it comes. The LA Night Jam Nightmare Edition Mastercraft boat into the course. Marion Mathieu taking a turn into the course right now. She's in the dark. She's under the lights, pulling out wide, hanging out. Tony, here she goes. The turn into the ramp.
Folks, Marion Mathieu, second jump. Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Another beautiful, beautiful jump for Marion. Just floating it out there, Tony, making it look absolutely effortless. Now, Tony, one thing I know about these jumpers is they feed off the energy of the crowd.
Yes, you are absolutely right. So if you scream and shout and make some noise, however you do it, they will appreciate it, folks, when they come into the dock. We're going to get a distance very, very shortly. I think it is going to be further, Tad. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Marion Mathieu. 158, very consistent.
All right, well, moving it down course just a bit. 158 feet. You see our boat judge, Miss Lee in the boat down there, trying to get the crowd pumped up.
And I'll tell you one thing, Tad. This is what I've noticed with Marion Mathieu. She has a very, very good memory for these things. I mean, it normally takes about 1 or 2 jumps to actually get used to the darkness and the limited light that you have in these situations. But she jumped in these finals last year, a year ago, and she doesn't appear to be phased at all. It almost looks like she's carrying on where she left off 365 days ago.
She definitely looks dialed in, Tone, as she comes in. This is her last jump right here. Try to put something out there real far for the rest of our competitors to knock down. Here she goes. Jump number 3 for Frances Marion Mathieu.
One more time!
And Tone, that may have been the best one of the set right there. Great third jump, putting it together, Marion Mathieu.
Brought it down just a little bit, and when you bring a cut down later, you inevitably generate a little more speed into the bottom of the jump, and if you time that right, along with some lift, you will get the necessary distance. Our first jumper, let's give it up for Marion Mathieu. Tad, you're not going to believe this. That jump there was 2 feet further than what she jumped in the Blurry Round, 163.
All right, well, great jumping from Marion, 163 feet. And Marion, I'll meet you up here in the hot seat as you are our current leader here in the women's final at the LA Night Jam. We'll have our lovely girls from Budweiser towel you off, maybe give you a cold beverage. As you sit up here, chill out, and watch the rest of the competition. Hopefully spend a little bit of time with me up here on the hot seat.
All right, Tad, next competitor out from Denmark. She's short of stature, but nothing short on talent. Let's give it up for Marion Jepsen. Now, Marion Jepsen, she is the current European jump champion, and she is the bronze medalist in the World Championships that were held last year in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I tell you what, she has come on strong within the last year or so, definitely putting some heat on her compatriot, June Fladberg. And Tad, I believe you have a guest in the hot seat.
That's right. I'm probably one of the luckier guys here this evening. I've got Marion Mathieu here. I've got my friends from Budweiser, and Marion chilling out with a cold beverage. What'd you think of it out there, Marion?
Actually, it was really good, like perfect. Just like at night, like everything is going a little bit faster, so it's hard to control yourself.
All right, well, if you turn right around, you're going to see your fellow competitor out there, Marion Jepsen, taking jump number 1.
Whoa, and taking a pass on jump number 1. And that's always the safety release that these jumpers have. If a jumper has some issues off the turn as they head in towards the jump, if they do not feel 100% comfortable or even 90% comfortable coming off the second wake into the jump, they can release the handle and ski round the left-hand side of the jump.
I'll tell you what, for everybody out there, all the kids, if you could stay out of the water just in case, stay out of the water, that would be greatly appreciated. But Marion Jepsen back on the water. Get up, get loud. Give it up for Marion.
All right then, folks. Marion Jepsen from Denmark. And you are right, Tad. We do need to have the children out of the water, out of the way, because as we saw there, the skiers can actually let go of the handle, and they do need a little bit of room to actually maneuver after they release the handle to on a particular jump. As I said, the jumpers always have that as a safety mechanism. However, what they don't have is the ability to actually chuck that ski around the right-hand side of the jump. Because if they do that under World and AWSA rules, if they do that, then they are immediately disqualified. All right, here comes Marion Jepsen from Denmark. Here she comes, second jump.
All right, taking it into the ramp and up and over and floating it way out there, Tony.
You know
Huge
what?
jump
That's
from
going to
Marion.
be close.
As, we'll see Marion here really enjoying the hot seat. We'll see how long she's going to stay up after a jump like that.
Well, she doesn't have to leave her Bud Light here, that's for sure. But I tell you one thing. 155.
All right, well, you see Miss Carrie Lee in the boat. Get up, give it up. She's got one more jump. Get loud.
Wow. I don't know why you... Okay, Tad. Okay, so this is the situation, right? She has 155 feet. Marion Mathieu is currently in the lead with a 163, so she has to jump 9 additional feet. That's a tall order.
All right, well, Marion told me she really doesn't want to leave the seat up here. She's got some cold beverages, of course, thanks to Mockler Beverage and Budweiser. So she's very comfortable up here. She likes my company as well. So we'll see if my young can kick her out of the hot seat. She's got one jump left, Tony, into the course right now. Mylon Jepsen, jump number 3.
And Marion Jepsen jumped over 170 feet to take the European jump title last year. And she would sincerely hope to have something along those lines to hit it on the 3rd jump.
A lot of speed on that one, Tony. A lot of speed. Not sure if she got everything out of the ramp. Marion might just be planted up here for yet another skier. But, Tony, I'll tell you what, something we haven't talked about yet. If you look across the lake right there, that's our danger meter over there.
The dangerometer.
Dangerometer. Is that the technical version of it?
150 feet on that last jump. Her best jump is 155. She's in second after 2 skiers. Let's hear it for Marion Jepsen from Denmark.
All right, and of course, a big shout out to Stokes Skis for stepping up for this women's jump event. Ray Stokes is here on site. I think we'll see him a little bit later, but really stepping up, putting some cash behind the women's event. But, Tony, we got our next skier ready to go. Who do we got on the dock?
We have got the current Moomba Masters jump champion and former U.S. Masters jump champion from Belarus, Natalia Bernakova.
Natalia, definitely one of the top women skiers in the world, and not only jump, but trick overall as well. So, Marion getting scared up here, but she's real comfortable right now, Tone.
Yeah, definitely. And Natalia Berdnikova, she is exceptionally capable of producing the lead now at LA Night Jam 3. Marion Mathieu is still in the hot seat. Let's give it up for Marion Mathieu, 163 feet. She's still in the lead and still relaxing there with a nice cold Bud Light.
All right, Tony, well, here she comes, Natalia Berdnikova, jump number 1 into the course right now. She went 165 feet earlier today on what looked to be an awful easy jump, but can she put it together under the lights? There she goes, turning in jump number 1, Natalia Berdnikova.
Oh, safe as houses on that jump. Look at her go.
All right, Marion, what you think? You think you're still up here?
I don't know. I think it was a pretty good jump, but it's hard to see from there, so...
All right, we're waiting on the distance. We are on fire, and so is our 157. 157. That puts her in second place.
All right, well, great opening jump. Very similar to Marion's first leap, so we'll see if Natalia can put it together. But we're having a good time up here at the hot seat thanks to Budweiser, so we'll see what she can do. She's got 2 jumps left. Get up as she passes by Miss Natalia Berdnikova.
Wonderful, wonderful jumping. I mean, Natalia Berdnikova, she's had her struggles recently with injuries in tournaments over the last few years. She has to wear a knee brace whenever she jumps and tricks. But I tell you one thing, she is one of the most determined competitors in all of the world. I mean, she comes to us from Belarus, which isn't exactly the easiest place to learn how to ski and to excel competitively, given the amount of months in the year where you can actually ski on the lake. But Natalia Berdnikova, she actually skied for the University of Louisiana at Monroe and actually won the Collegiate National Women's Jump title in all 4 years of her eligibility.
All right, here she comes, jump number 2, Natalia Bernikova taking a nice edge, digging all the way in, and gets way up off the top of that ramp. That's a big, big jump right there. We'll see if it's enough, Tony. We'll see if it's enough to knock Marion Mathieu out of the Budweiser hot seat.
It's huge. And Marion Mathieu, she is still on the hot seat with a 163 feet, sipping on an ice cold Bud Light that fills you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
All right, Tony. Well, the distance on that jump right there, 166 feet. She is our new leader. Get up, get loud, give it up for Natalia Bernikova.
Now, Marion, you can still stay there for a few more minutes. You can stay there for a few more minutes, at least keep the seat warm for Natalia. But you know it. It's inevitable. You're going to have to vacate the seat because Natalia Bernikova has jumped 166, and she is in the lead.
That's right, Marion. We will have to part ways for this evening here shortly. It's been lovely having you up here. Great jumping. Congratulations.
Hey, Tad, do you have a violin just to escort her off the dock? But hey, she jumped 163 feet, which is a tall order in these conditions.
I'll tell you what, great jumping by Marion. Now our current leader, Natalia Bernikova, sitting on a 166. Tony, I think she's going to have to go a little bit further if she wants to take the title. Here she comes, jump number 3, edging all the way in, up off the top. Another beauty right there.
And look at that, Tad. And one thing that we do have to point out is that each of our skiers, in order for their jumps to count, they actually have to land it and they actually have to ride it away. Ladies and gentlemen, your new leader from Belarus, Natalia Bernikova. Well, that last jump, Tad, was 160 feet, 160.
Come up here, young lady.
All right, as we await for Natalia Bernikova to ascend to the hot seat, let me introduce to you the next skier. She is a pharmacist by trade, having graduated from the University of Louisiana at Monroe. She's originally from Georgia. Let's give it up for Regina Jaques. And Tad, who do you have in the hot seat?
All right, well, Tony, I'm going to let her get situated, not drop her ski. I'm try to do that, too. All right, with me right now, I have our current leader from Belarus, Miss Natalia Bernikova. Natalia, great jumping out there, 166 feet. Welcome to the Budweiser hot seat.
Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone, for coming and cheering for us. Woo!
All righty, well, Natalia, going to get a little dried off here, have a nice cool Bud Light, and check out and see if Regina Jaques can take her down.
Well, certainly, if anyone can take down that distance of 166, it is a former teammate from the University of Louisiana at Monroe. This is Regina Jaques. Whoa, almost got hung up on the bottom right-hand corner there, Tad.
All right, Regina getting a little bit over her skis, which is the key, but a little early there for Regina. She almost kicked herself into not the best position in the world, but riding it away, and pretty good opening jump right there for Regina.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's definitely something to build upon, Tad. There's two ways about that. 153.
All right, 153 feet right there for Regina. Now, as she comes back by, these skiers are feeding off your energy. I want you to stand up. I want you to get up. I want you to get loud for Regina Jaques.
All right. You are exactly right, Tad. These skiers really do sincerely feed off energy that's projected out from the shoreline. If you want to make some noise, use your hands, use your feet, use something. Just make some noise as the skiers approach the jump at speeds in excess of 60 miles an hour, close to 70 in fact.
All right, Tony. Well, Regina going to make some adjustments there. She's got 10 plus 12 feet here or so if she wants to touch our leader, Natalia Bernikava's 166-footer. Here she comes into the course, jump number 2. Regina Jake was coasting out wide. Lots of speed out there for late turn right there. Can she get on? Regina Jake was up and over. Oh, my. Long jump right there for Regina, Tone.
And I tell you one thing, Tad, Regina Jake was former world overall water ski champion, able to successfully combine all 3 events, slalom, tricks, and jump, into a great overall score. She is actually one of the world's top competitors. She is actually the world overall women's record holder, combining all 3 events. What was that? Just 164 within 2 feet of Natty. 164.
All right, well, getting close, but Natalia, you're still right here with me. But get loud, one more jump coming up for Miss Regina Jaquist.
All right. Okay, it's crunch time now. 3rd and last attempt. She needs 3 feet to take the lead away from Natty. She needs 3 feet more to take the lead from Natty. How many of you over here think she could do it? Can she do it?
All right, Tony, we got one more jump coming up, and we'll see Regina definitely making her way down the lake. Only 2 feet away now.
All right. It comes down to this. One last jump.
All right, here you go, Tony. This is it for Regina. One more jump. Turning in a little bit later on this one. Taking some heat into the bottom. Up and over, Tony. I don't know. That's going to be close. Not sure if she got everything out of the ramp. Still a great jump for Regina, but we'll have to see if it's going to be enough.
She's definitely leaving the cut late enough. It definitely develops a lot of speed into her jump, but she just seems to be a little too late coming into the jump to really take advantage of that ramp.
All right, well, let's give it up one more time for Miss Regina Jaquist.
That was 159 feet, so her best jump distance is a 164. It puts her in 2nd place, but more importantly, it keeps Natalia Bernikava in that hot seat for at least one more jumper. All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next competitor to take to the water right here, right now, LA Night Jam 3, current U.S. Masters Women's Jump Champion, several times jump champion in a whole variety of tournaments all across the world. She comes to us from Denmark. She is none other than June Fladborg. All right, June Fladborg out there just trying to get used to the conditions.
All right, Tone, you're right. The conditions are perfect, and June Fladborg, one of the best, if not right now, the best women's jumper around, has raked in all the titles lately, but and she is our former night jump champ. But 166 feet in the dark under the lights is no easy task.
Yes, indeed. And I'll tell you one thing, it's no easy task announcing when you don't have a little bit of refreshment. So, Natty, could you do me a favor? Could you throw me one of those Bud Lights, please? Just chuck one over.
Tony, a little bit later, we'll give you your half a Bud Light for the evening.
Oh, I need something to drink. Maybe a Sprite or something like that. Our Coke product.
All right, well, here you go, Tony. First jump on the water, riding those Stokes skis. This is Miss June Flat turning in jump number 1. This chick carries more heat into the bottom of the ramp than anybody out there and handles it great as she bangs out jump number 1.
Fantastic looking jump there from June Fladberg. And for those of you that look closely at the equipment of these jump skiers, she trains extensively with Ray Stokes. And the one thing that Ray Stokes emphasizes almost more than anything else is aerodynamics.
All right, Tony, 159 feet. 159 for her opener. But give it up, get loud. Let her hear you for June Fladberg.
All right, 159, you're right. 159 feet. She's got a little bit of work. Got about 8 feet to work herself into the lead. Now, we're talking about equipment, Tad. One of the most critical pieces of equipment that a water ski jumper has, if you're looking at the dock, is this thing right here. It's the arm sling. The jump skiers will place their right arm into the sling, and what that does is it does two things. One, it's a safety mechanism because it allows that right arm to stay into the body, doesn't allow it to get pulled out so you don't get out of position. Another thing that it does is it transfers the pull from the boat, from the shoulders down to the waist, where you're the strongest as you come off the wake into the jump. Very critical piece of equipment at this time.
All right, Tony, well, here it is. Jump number 2. You watch June out there. Going to take her turn in. A little bit later here, going to carry some heat into the bottom of the ramp and gets up over the skis. Great jump number 2, Tony, but hey, I don't know if she got everything out of that one. Not sure if it's going to be enough to take down our leader, Miss Natalia Bernikova.
Yeah, she left all of the speed on the jump that time. She took in a lot of heat. But you need to be able to direct that speed, not that way, but upwards and outwards to get the distance. 156, Tad, 156. She has a lot of work to do. Come on, let's make some noise, folks! June Fladberg!
All right, Tony, waiting on the distance, but I'm not sure if it was enough. Now, Natalia, we've seen June go over twice. She's got one more. Do you think she's got enough in her to take over the lead?
It's a tough one. I mean, we all have 3 jumps, so you always can do it on the 3rd one. So we'll just wait and see. June is really an experienced and competitive girl, so yeah.
All righty, Tone, do we have a distance?
156 on that jump, 156. So, like I said, she needs to really pull something out of the proverbial hat.
All right, well, leaving it up to the last jump, making things exciting here at the LA Night Jam 3, but one more jump coming into the course. June Fladberg pulling out wide, trying to keep as much speed as she can into that turn, cut as late as possible, and you're right, Tony, handle it on the ramp. Can't she do it right here?
Yes, she's done it. Good looking jump there from June. That's definitely the best one out of the 3. The question is it more than 166? It is that close.
Going to be close, Tony, waiting on the distance here.
Ladies and gentlemen, the distance, 167. June Fladberg in new leader.
All right, well, June giving a little shout-out right there, knowing that she just took the lead by 1 foot from Miss Natalia Bernikova. Natalia, wonderful jumping. It was great to hang out with you. Hope to see you later.
Feel free to take one of those Bud Lights with you. The beer that always fills you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light.
Miss June, if you could please join me up here at the hot seat. June Fladberg to the hot seat.
All right then, ladies and gentlemen. Our next competitor to take to water, number 1 seed, shocked the world a few hours ago. Alex Loretano from Connecticut.
All righty, well, we'll get June up here in just a moment. Getting some gear off. Looks to be a little happy to get up here on the hot seat, just footing our last competitor, Natalia Vernikova. June, I'll take this from you right. Go grab yourself a seat. Take a breath.
And don't forget, Tad, that these skiers are earning points that go towards their rankings on the IWWF Elite Rankings list, which could be crucial if they want to qualify for tournaments in the future. Let's have a look. Alex Loretano, first jump. Let's hear it.
All right, and Alex bangs off a huge first jump. Very nice jump out there, June. First off, June Fladberg right here in hot seat, your current leader. June, how did you feel out there?
I felt really nice. I just wish I had a fourth one, really. It's really nice out there. I looked down a little bit, and that's why I didn't really get off that well. It's just so hard not to look down when you see a bit of movement in the bottom. But thanks for all the cheering. I really appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
All righty, well, great jump in June. Tony, do we have a distance?
Yes, indeed, we have 155.
All right, so 155, great opener. Get up, get loud for Alex Loretano.
So Alex Loretano, this is going to be her coming out party in the women's jump event if she can pull this off. Her personal best is 174 feet. She jumped 173 feet in the preliminary round just a few hours ago. Can she pull off the upset? June Fladberg in the hot seat is the two-time and defending LA Night Jam jump champion. Can this young lady from Connecticut pull off the surprise of the year so far?
Well, Alex definitely one of the hot up-and-coming young women's jumpers, and been jumping pretty well lately. Had a good week last week. Been training with the Nightmare Freddy Krueger, so definitely a good coach to take some tips from. She's got 2 jumps left. Here she comes, jump number 2, pulling out wide on that Nightmare LA Night Jam Edition Mastercraft, taking a nice late turn in. Can she get off the top? She gets up, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Nice jump number 2.
I like that jump. I like that jump. She wasn't 100% perfect. In fact, she was actually early on that jump. But she has enough smarts and she has the technique to recover from something like that. Has a lot of speed, had a good bit of height, but will she get the distance, Tad? Whoa, 161, 161. She needs 7 feet, Tad. 161. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our last jump in the session. Let's give it up for Alex.
All right, Tony, this is going to be the last jump for our women's jump competition. Get up, get loud, cheer on. Alex Loretano, one more jump to take home the title here. Just, 6, 7 feet away?
Yeah, 7 feet. 7 feet she needs to take the title. June Fladberg. She can barely bring herself to watch this last jump. And as it is the last jump with the women's, I want you to clap as they work their way into the starting off nice and slow and just building up to a All
right, Tony, I'm sitting here with one nervous Miss Fladberg. I can tell you how the jump goes if you'd like.
Come on, folks, start clapping. Slow clap. Come on. June, come on. This is Alex Loretano.
All right, here she comes. This is it.
Come on.
For all the marbles, jump number 3, edging in. Can she get off the top of the ramp?
Oh, 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 oh. Oh, oh. Tad.
Hold on, Tony.
Did she make it out alive? Well, you know what this means. Regardless of the distance, it means that June Fladberg is now your 3-time LA Night Jam jump champion.
All right, well, let's give it up. Great jumping for Miss Alex Loretano. Giving us a show on that last one, Tony. Still waiting on the distance here. Not sure if it's going to be enough.
Alex Loretano. On that last jump, I know that you will go for it. But, girl, you scared the crud out of me with that last jump. What was going on?
I don't know, it scared me too. I had a better cut that time. I just couldn't hold it together. June put a big one out there, so congratulations, June.
And ladies and gentlemen, speaking of June Flatberg, I mean, she is a clutch competitor. She's won this twice before, and Alex, really, you kind of had your work cut out for you here, but you jumped brilliantly this morning, and you have to be commended for that.
Yeah, thanks, Tony.
Ladies and gentlemen, Alex Loretano, and your champion in the women's competition. Let's give it up once again for June Flatberg.
All right, and ever the champion signing autographs for a young lady right here. Getting her photo taken. We got some fireworks going on now, Tony. We're raising up the ramp. In fact, it's raised up, and we're going to roll right into our men's jump final.
I tell you what, Tad, we don't miss a beat here. You know, at most places around the world, we would have to take a few minutes out to get a boat out there with a couple of people, put a car jack underneath the jump, crank it up a few times, set a few pins in there, and maybe the jump will be at 6 foot high. No, we don't do things like that. We actually have an electric motor underneath the jump with a flywheel, and basically what we did several years ago is we took the parts off a tractor trailer, linked it into the electric motor, and we can actually raise and lower the jump remotely from the shoreline.
All right, Tony, and yeah, they raise it, as you said, 6 inches to 6 feet high. These guys, well, to give you an idea, these guys had to jump at least 211 feet to make it in this final. And here you go, our first competitor right now taking the turn in, Mr. Mark Lane. Jump number 1.
Whoa! Didn't look 100% safe off that turn. You know, it is a really, really tall order for these jump skiers to be in these conditions with the faded light, you know, and to turn, head towards the jump, not knowing 100% whether you're actually going to be in a good position off the second wake to actually take the jump compared to normal conditions. But, you know, Mark Lane, you know, wise option there. If you don't feel totally ready for the jump, best release the handle and just ski around the bottom left-hand corner. But Tad, I cannot understate last jump from Alex Loretano. I mean, she was late. She went for it. She tried to kick it. But, man, that girl, she has the skills to pull those skis underneath her and ride it out.
Tony, I know I'm still shaken up by it, but my Budweiser friends here are just helping me make it through. So I'll be okay. Don't worry about me.
No, I'm sure they'll console you the best way they know how. All right, to the business at hand from Bellingham in Washington. This is Mark Lane, who's been in this situation at least a few times before in terms of a jump in a jump final, both here and in London, our sister tournament, the London Night Jump Competition. Those guys out there in Datchet, just outside Windsor in London, are watching this. I'm sure it's about 4 a.m. right now, and we're glad that you could tune in to LANightJam.com.
All right, Tony, well, here you go. Mark Lane, jump number 2, bringing it down a little bit and getting up off the ramp. Huge jump for Mark Lane.
I tell you what, Tad, he absolutely spanked that first jump into the stratosphere. And you know something? What really, really struck me with that jump? He made the most of that jump at about 2/3 into the air. He got that additional float.
All right, Tony, 203 feet. 203 for his second jump. Give it up. Get loud. Pump him up. Mark Lane on the water. 1 jump left. All right, Tone, so 203, very respectable leap out there in the dark, but going to take quite a bit more, I think, to take this title home tonight. We had the likes of Zach Warden going 225 and Jason Seals and Freddie Krueger at 217 earlier today. So I think we're gonna have to see Mark buck up and put a big one out there on his third and final attempt.
Yes, 203 feet. It sounds like a big distance. I mean, if you rewind about 10 years, 15 years ago, that probably would have won you most jump tournaments. Not today. You need something at least 10, 20, maybe 30 feet further.
All right, well, here you go. Jump number 3 right here for Mr. Mark Lane, Tony. And I got the best seat in the house. Taking the turn in. Can he go further down the lake, up and over the ramp, and great lift off the top. Another great leap for Mark Lane.
And certainly using those jump skis to great effect. You know, the one thing is he comes off the jump. You know, he isn't content with just the speed and the height that he gets off the jump. He opens up like a kite and actually tries to get more float, to get more distance. Let's hear it for our first men's jumper, Mark Lane.
All right, Tony, and 200 feet, 200 for Mark on his third and final attempt. But I'll tell you what, right now, he is your leader. So, Mark, come up here. I'm going to have my friends from Budweiser take real good care of you. Get you a cold beverage, towel you off a little bit. You can hang out with me for a little while.
And I'll tell you one thing, Tad. I'm on the dock right now, and it is a hive of activity with stony-faced intensity along the faces of our 3 competitors. We got Aurélien Serrault. We've got Damien Sharman. We got our next competitor to take to the water. He comes to us from California. Former national jump champion. Let's give it up, please, for the California kid, Brian Kenny.
All right, this kid, Brian Kenny, yeah, you're right, packed with energy, so hyper. I talked to him earlier. He's ready to pop off a big one out there, Tony. He's got it in there, and he's just got to get it out here on the water, and we'll have to see what he does. But right now, Mark Lane going to get up in the chair, get himself a cold beverage, of course, Kurt Beverage and Budweiser. Get a bit toweled off, catch your breath, and, well, Mark, if you have a second, how'd you feel out there tonight?
I actually felt really good. The lighting that we have right now and the conditions is unbelievable, and my timing was just a little off, and we're going to see some big jumps tonight because I got a feeling I left about 25 feet off that jump. But it was fun, and can't thank the Bennett's crew enough for what all they do. It's a great event, and thanks everyone for coming out.
All right, thank you very much, Mark. Right now, Tony, we got Brian Kenny, jump 1.
All right. Here he comes, jump 1. Oh, look at that. Almost hitting the bottom right-hand corner and almost tempting himself to grab the right-hand jump ski as he comes off the top of the jump. He knew basically that first jump was basically a dud as far as he was concerned there, Tad. And you know, Brian Kenny, just before he went out onto the water, he asked me to give a big shout-out to his good friends over in London who are watching this on LANightJam.com. They're watching us from Datchet.
All right, and Brian wants you to get up, get loud for Brian Kenny. We got a distance here, Tone.
172. So, 172 feet. But he could still jump a lot further than that, folks. We've got some great jumpers. We've got 6 more jumpers in this event with some of the finest ski flying talent on the planet. We got Aurélien Serrault. He's a jump next. He's from France. We've got Damien Sharman. He's from Great Britain. He will jump afterwards. And Marion Mathieu is on the starting dock with giving support to Aurélien Serrault. Still clutching her Bud Light. And ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Brian Kenny!
All right, and Brian Kenny floating one out there, Tone, but I'll tell you this. He definitely was up there on that dangeometer or whatever we got across the lake. He was cruising in with some heat. He was a little bit late. Handled it all right. We'll see how far it ends up being. I think he's got a little bit left in the tank there, Tone.
Yes, and Brian Kenny is one of those jumpers that's very short in stature, but 185 feet, which won't do much to unseat Mark Lane. Let's hear it for Brian Kenny, folks. Brian Kenny, he's got one jump to go.
All right, get up, get loud, come on, Night Jam. Brian Kenny, one more jump. Tony, this guy, one of the latest cutters out there, now runs the boat a little different than everybody else, so allows himself a little bit more time to get to that ramp, which is why he can go later, but just a fireball, a speedball out there on the water. If he can handle one of those cuts, we could see a rather long jump coming up here on the third attempt.
And certainly it is a very, very fine line to straddle between being too early and setting up for the ramp and kicking and almost kicking yourself out the front, or going too late and clipping the bottom right-hand corner. And I'll tell you, that's happened more than a few times with Brian Kenny over the years. All right. Okay, this is jump number 3 for Brian Kenny. He has 185 feet on the books. He needs over 200 feet to take the lead. Let's make some noise.
Holy moly, Tony. Latest cut I've seen all day or night. I wasn't sure he was going to get on that one, but not able to handle that speed, and quite possibly could have clipped a fin on that one, Tony. But, hey, landed on both skis as he comes into shore. Let's give it up one more time for Mr. Brian Kenny.
Yeah, and Brian Kenny, he'll be into the shore, 185 feet, his best jump. Be curious to find out what that distance will be on the last attempt, but I don't think that it will unseat Mark Lane. And Mark Lane, you know, for every jump that Mark Lane actually keeps the seat for, we give him another Bud Light. After 8, he should be fine. Beer that always fills you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light. Thanks a lot.
All right, Tony. Who do we got on the dock over there, Tone?
Okay, continuing on with LA Night Jam 3 presented by Mastercraft. Our next skier to take to the water in just a few moments whilst we untangle the knot on that rope. It does need to be 75 feet long. It can't have anything tangling it between the boat and the handle. And it looks that matter because about to take to the water, France's number 1 male jumper. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up, please, for Aurelien Sarraut. And he jumped 211 feet in the preliminary round to be in the position where he is right now. All right. So Brian Kenny. is on the start dock. You really couldn't get it together, to be honest.
Yeah, choked. Yeah.
So 185. I know you could do better. I'm sure that your fans over in London will be cursing themselves right now. What message do you have for them?
If you're not already there, make your way to the railway. And sorry, I couldn't perform better.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian Kenny, the California kid.
All right, Tony, right now on the water, jump number 1, Aurelien Sarraut, turning in, nice easy turn. You watch him edge all the way in. Can he handle it off the top? Nice safe jump for Aurelien. Not sure on the distance on that, but good opener, way to feel it out. Things always a little different in the dark.
Yes, a good-looking jump there, and you'll notice that Aurelien Sarraut is actually one of the tallest skiers coming into this final, which means that he can't afford to dig down too deep off the turn to cut. But what disadvantage that gives you, it actually gives you an advantage when you hit the jump because you have almost immediate lift if you get your cut right. 7-8, 178. Let's hear it for Aurelien Sarraut.
All right, Tony, now sitting up here with Mark Lane. Now, Mark, you know, you jumped here earlier in the day and you hit about a 211. Now you're here at night and you went out and it was a 203. Just tell us, what does it feel like? What's the difference here when you got the sunlight? Now we do have these spotlights out here, but it's got to feel totally different.
Yeah, it actually does. Obviously, it's a little bit harder to see, but the main thing is timing, you know, and jumping is all about timing and being able to get as much speed as you can and your lift, and a combination of that, and it's just a little bit difficult when it's dark. You might feel like your cut is spot on, but you might end up being early or late, so that's what sacrifices your distance. But that's the main thing. But it makes it a little bit more exciting, huh?
Yeah, definitely more exciting. This is the way I love to watch jump anytime I can, but not sure if I'd actually go out and do that. But here you go, Tone Aurelien Sorel. Jump number 2.
Here he comes. Oh, beauty of a jump. Look at that. Just sails down the lake. And I'll tell you what, Mark Lane, you must be eyeing up that jump there. That is very close to the distance needed to unseat you off that seat. The distance, I think it's over 200 feet. Of that, I'm certain. 202! 202. He's 1 foot shy of Mark Lane.
All right, so just a foot shy, Tony. All right, 1 jump left for Aurelien. Get up, get loud, let him hear you. He wants to hear you. He's just a foot off the lead, Tony. 12 inches, and he could be sitting right up here with the beautiful Budweiser girls, having a wonderful conversation with myself.
Yes, Tad.
Talking about jump skiing.
That's the main motivation behind.
I would think so. Not because of the cold beer or these lovely young ladies here, but more so to talk to me.
Yes, definitely. The world-famous Tad Schreiber. Ladies and gentlemen. All right. Aurelien Sorel, 202 feet. Mark Lane, 203.
All right, Tone, I'll be honest. I thought that one was a bit further. I thought Aurelien took the lead, but hey, he's going to have to do a little bit more. Here you go, Tony, into the course. Jump number 3, Aurelien Sorel.
All right, here we go. Aurelien Sorel. Third last. Nope. Okay, give Mark Lane another one of those bites because he has taken down another jumper.
All right, well, Mark, going to hang out with me a little bit longer and my lovely friends here from Mockler Beverage and Budweiser. I think you got a pretty good seat right now. But here you go, coming into shore. Give it up one more time for Aurelien Sorel.
All right. His best jump, 202 feet. It currently puts him in second place, but 2 feet shy of the hot seat. All right. Aurelien Sorel, unfortunately, unable to make it to the hot seat, but 202 feet puts you in second place. What do you think of that?
Well, I'm pretty happy. You know, I jumped 200 feet. That's what I wanted to do before I came out, and I just messed up my undercut on the last jump, and I ended up too early, but I'm pretty happy, and thank you, everybody.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's give it up, please, for France's Aurelien Sorel. And the next competitor on the water representing Great Britain, it is Damien Sharman.
All right, Tony, of course, as you said, this is one of the Bennett's instructors, been here for quite a while, and it's paying off the dividends now as he is your current Moomba Masters champ and looking to take his first LA Night Jam championship here this weekend. We know last year missed it due to injury, but Damien's been on fire as of late, the finish of last year, the beginning of this one, so we'll have to wait and see if he can handle it here under the lights. Night Jam 3.
Yes, and Damien Sharman has taken the long way to get to this level. He is the current European jump champion. He's the current Moomba Masters jump champion. Let's see what he can unleash upon the night sky.
All right, Tone. Nice opening jump for Damien, getting some of the most lift out of any of the athletes we've seen here this weekend. Probably a bit early on that one. Again,
Yes,
as Mark was saying, timing definitely an issue here when it comes to being under the lights.
I concur with you 100%. He was quite early on that one. And being early, it means that the skier basically has to let off on their angle towards the jump. 182 feet. That's how much distance he lost on that jump. Let's hear it for the Dartford Destroyer, Damien Sharman. And as you mentioned correctly, Tad, he is an instructor here at Bennett's Water Ski School. Renowned talent. And I tell you what, he's been around the jump scene for quite a few years. He's normally finished middle order in most of those competitions. In fact, he actually joked with me a few years ago that when he was paying his entry fee to one tournament, he was wondering if he should just write the check out to Freddy Krueger because he knew at that time that Freddy was probably going to win that tournament. Not so these days. He is up amongst the top echelons of jumping now.
That's right. He's definitely right up there. And you know what, Tony? With the field we have right now, anybody can take it. And Damien definitely could be one of those guys. Here he is, jump number 2. I imagine, bringing it down just a little bit. Nice, easy turn. Taking some speed in the bottom and getting everything out of the jump on that one. Great jump number 2. For Damien Sharman.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, like a Morten Andersen field goal in the days of old, it's up and it's good from Damien Sharman on that second attempt. Wonderful looking jump there. 2-1-4. Ladies and gentlemen, your new leader. He wants to hear you scream and shout. Damien Sharman, 2-1-4.
All right, well, we will say farewell to Mr. Mark Lane. Let's give it up one more time for Mark Lane.
Hey, Tad, I hope you didn't take his beer away from him.
No, he's still got his cold beverage.
He's still got his beer.
Yeah,
Okay,
you're allowed to
good.
take those with you as you leave the Budweiser hot seat. But, Tony, we got one more jump from Aurelian. Or Damien, excuse me.
No worries.
To push it out even further.
Yes, indeed, and he knows he's got to do it as well. He was our 5th place jumper coming into this round. We still have 4 competitors left, and he's really got to put some heat on because we got Ryan Dodd coming up next. We got Jason Seals, we got Freddy Krueger, we got Zach Warden on the docket. One last jump for Damien Sharman. Let's hear some noise.
All right, and going much later and banging out an even bigger jump on jump number 3. So Damien getting dialed in here at his home lake. LA Night Jam 3, great jump set for Damien. I think he's ready for a Budweiser.
Oh, yes. I can pull out every sport cliche available, but I won't even try because 216, 216 feet.
All right, Tony, 216 feet for Damien Sharman, your new leader here at the LA Night Jam. Huge jump right there for Damien, getting it all put together in the end.
Little bit of traffic around the dock area as we give Damien a little bit of space to get his skis off. Wow.
Looks like we got some lucky young boat riders there.
Yep.
Here in the signature LA Night Jam boat. Of course, big shout out to Mastercraft, our title sponsor here. Global Marine Insurance, as well as Conley Skis. You see them on the boat as it passes by. Shout out to all of our sponsors here for making this event happen.
Well, here we go. I have the man of the hour. This is Damien Sharman in the lead with 216 feet. Now, what was your game plan going into this round of jumps?
You know, I got set up pretty good today. Ended up with a 2:14, put me in the middle of the pack. And I knew I could build on that tonight. And after my first jump, you know, the lighting's unreal. and just brought it in the course, and it worked out good. Trying to build on every jump.
Well, Damien Sharman, we have Tad Schreiber waiting there for you. We have two beautiful young ladies, and we have your hot seat. Get on up there. Damien Sharman!
Damien, yes, I got a seat right over here for you. My friends here from Budweiser and Mockler Beverage will take good care of you. But Tony, on the water right now, quite possibly the pound for pound, the strongest guy I've ever met in my life. From Canada, Mr. Ryan Dodd is out there on the water, and he is known to fly very, very, very far.
Yes, indeed. Ryan Dodd, the bronze medalist in the World Jump Championships last year. He's actually taken quite a few professional titles over the years. This is his third consecutive LA Night Jam jump final. He goes by the nickname of Alberta Beef. And here he comes. First jump of 3. Canada's Ryan Dodd. Oh, little on the back of the skis, I fancy. Well, that was the first jump attempt there for Ryan Dodd.
All right, Tone, sorry, just helping Damien with his Stoke skis to getting up on the dock. He's sitting down, he's chilling out, getting a cold beverage, cold Bud Light from my lovely friends at Mockler. And by the way, can I get your ladies' names?
Dixie, Jennifer.
Dixie and Jennifer here. Tony, I'm going to have to say that I have a much better job than you do tonight.
All right, that first jump there, 193, 193 feet for Ryan Dodd. Well, just take a few moments just to get our breaths back a little bit there. Ryan Dodd, our fourth competitor from last, comes to us from Olds in Alberta, which isn't too far outside Calgary. And trains in his own facility there during the summer. In fact, his facility, which is named Dodd's Pond, actually forms part of a cattle farm. Now, for those of you that have been to Alberta on more than a few occasions, you will know that that province in Canada is famous for its beef. I've had some, it's absolutely delicious, and that's why we see this jumper from Alberta. Beef. Let's see what he has for this second jump. Let's make some noise!
Here he goes, jump number 2,
Whoa.
Tone, and turned a little late on that one. Didn't like the timing too much, so hey, he's got one more jump left. Better safe than sorry on that one, Tony.
Yes, you're absolutely right. They have that release valve among the little things that they have to consider whenever they take a cut towards that 6-foot high jump. I mean, let's talk about it. These are hitting a solid object at speeds approaching the highway speed limit here in the state of Louisiana, 70 miles an hour. That's the quickest that you could drive on any of the interstates here in the great state of Louisiana. And I mean, you're hitting a solid object. You're exerting up to 4, 5, 6 G's of force whenever you hit that jump. You ascend to distances of over 30 feet off the ramp. The figures are mind-boggling. Let's hear it for Ryan Dodd.
That's right. Get up, get loud for Ryan Dodd. He's got one jump left. Passed on that second one, Tone. So he's going to make those adjustments in his head. Now talking with Damien a bit, the light's messing with everybody out there, but they all got to deal with it. They all got to figure it out. Damien definitely got to figure it out on that third and final one. Still feels like he had a little left, but hey, 2:16 under the lights in the darkness here at the Night Jam. He's pretty pumped, and he's relaxing right now in the Budweiser hot seat.
Yes, indeed, and it's not the first time we've seen Damien Sharman in this seat. We remember back to LA Night Jam 1, where he actually occupied that seat for quite a few skiers, about 5 skiers before he was dethroned eventually by the likes of Jarrett Llewellyn or Freddie Krueger. So he certainly tasted the good times, Damien Sharman.
All right, well, here you go. Jump number 3. Ryan Dodd, can he get on? He does.
Oh.
Gets up over the skis. Tony, that was a good jump, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to knock out our leader, Mr. Damien Sharman.
To quote a Toby Keith song, every dog has its day, but it just wasn't his day, dog. Ladies and gentlemen, coming into shore, let's give it up, please, for Mr. Ryan Dodd.
All right, Tony. Well, right now I'm joined by a very special guest, a Baton Rouge native. He is the #2 Supercross rider out there, Mr. Kevin Windham. Kevin, thanks for joining us this evening. I know you've been looking at these Mastercraft boats out here for a while coming out. You and Jay are buddies. What are you thinking of the whole evening so far?
Oh, man, this is just unbelievable. You know, I spent my whole life on dirt and just recently been able to take some summers off and play around. And I'm definitely in the Mastercraft market, and this is a place to get them here at Bennett's. But, man, these jumpers tonight are just going insane. It's the first time for me to be able to check these guys out, and just got unbelievable respect for these guys. They're going huge tonight, and I can just imagine under the lights and just going this big. It's unbelievable.
Well, it is awesome to have you here tonight. Yeah, definitely showing you a different side. Now, I know, you're out there on tour all the time, busting it out on the Supercross and #2, so you know what it's like to be right there at the top of your sport, and you're watching the best jumpers in the world fly through the air at night. You think we might be able to get you out on skis under the lights one day?
I'll ride in the boat, and maybe you guys couldn't get me to go off the ramp, much less 200 feet or anywhere even close to that. It's give me a dirt bike and put the ramp on dirt. I'll try to do it, but, man, just unbelievable respect for these guys. I know how hard water can be, and I've even attempted to ride my motorcycle across water, but to see these guys going this far, I don't have the guts for that.
All right, well, definitely good stuff, man. I want you to sit back, enjoy, but, when you're ready to get that Mastercraft boat, I know that the crew here, Jay, Esteban, the whole crew here at Bennett's will take good care of you.
Yeah, this is a place to be, man. They're putting on a great show here tonight, and definitely a place to come get the Mastercraft boat. So it's been an awesome night for me. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much. Give it up for Kevin Windham.
All right. We now turn our attention to the jump leg where we have Great Britain's Jason Seals. First jump. Not a bad one, Tad. Not a bad one.
That was good. Great jump for Jason right there, Tony. Nice, easy, floaty jump. We'll see. It could be. I'm not sure if it's enough to take down our leader, but he's going to be right there in that ballpark.
Somewhere in that ballpark, yes, I can say unreservedly, but not quite. 206, 206. It gives him. He needs about 11 more feet. 206. Let's give it up for Jason Seals. Got 2 more jumps remaining.
All right, Tony. Well, great opening jump for Jason. And, again, just has to work out under the lights. But to start out with a 206 in the dark under the lights is a great jump. Jason, your new European record holder with, I believe, a 235 just a few weeks ago. He knows how to get it done.
Yes, and really, Tad, I have to say that we really need to start making some noise along the shoreline. I mean, these jumpers are really putting everything out there on the line in the dark and really powering down the lake to produce some good jumps. We really need to hear some kind of acknowledgement from the crowd, however you do it.
All right, well, here he goes. This is jump #2. Jason Seals hanging out wide. Fellow countryman Damian Sharman watching awful closely as Jason comes into the ramp, gets up off the top, floats it out there. Very nice jump, Tony. Again, very long jump for Jason, but just not sure if it's going to take away the lead from Damian Sharman.
And he barely connected on that jump. You see how close he was to the bottom right-hand corner. He was just inches away from almost eating it there on the bottom right-hand corner side curtain. But he managed to get on with just enough room to push out over that distance. The distance being 208, 208. Let's hear Jason Seals. The drama continues, Tad. 208. And there we see Damian Sharman with a 216 in the hot seat. Will he be dethroned? We'll find out in the next jump.
All right, well, he's moving the right way down the lake, Tony. He's going a little bit further, but hey, he's got about 8 more feet, 9 more feet before he's going to take down our leader. So Damien's sitting here having a good time, relaxing, just staying in the zone. A little nervous too, maybe. All right, well, I see the red lights of that Mastercraft boat, Tony, coming back in the course. Let's check it out. Jump number 3 for Jason Seals. As he turns into the course right now, pulling out wide. Damien checking it out, seeing if his fellow countryman can take him down. Nice late turn, bringing a lot of speed. Can he handle it? Gets up off the top, but Tony, I'm not sure that's enough. No. Damien, you think you're staying up here?
I don't. I'm more nervous now than when I went on the water.
All right, Tony. Well, we'll see. We'll wait on the distance, but as he comes into shore, get up, get loud. Give it up for Mr. Jason Seals.
There you go. 2:08 on his second jump. That last jump is 1:97. So 2:08 for Jason Seals. Unable to make it onto the hot seat tonight. And we'll get his thoughts in a moment or so. So Jason Seals, 208 feet on that second jump. You look to have the timing right for the third, so what happened?
Yeah, on the first two, and I was a little bit early. I kind of got on my lift, so I knew I had to bring it down the last one, which I did. Just missed my lift a little bit, but lighting and everything's going good, like really well. I'm pretty happy with that. I'd like to go a little bit further, but I'm happy with that.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's celebrate a good effort from Jason Seals from Southampton, England. Jason Seals! 208 feet. Now, ladies and gentlemen, our next competitor, he is the legendary Frank Kruger!
All right, well, Tony, I just want to let you know that Damien's pretty sure that his folks are across the pond right now watching him live on LANightJam.com. You got anything to say, Damien?
Thanks for getting out in bed and supporting me. Thank you.
So, Tad, what time is it now? What time do you have on your watch? Or on your iPod?
Tony, we're looking at about quarter to 10 right now.
So 9:45, 6 hours. It's almost 4 a.m. Those guys are really hardcore over there in London. Checking out LANightJam.com.
All right, and I think we got some viewers over in Australia. Brad and Val Perculis watching us right now. But here you go, Tony. The Nightmare on the water. Freddy Krueger. Nice late turn coming in for jump number 1. Holy moly, Tony.
Even when he doesn't hit the ramp 100% perfectly, he could still push out the distance to what he needs. He is that good, folks. Wow, what a jump. But is it enough to overhaul Damien Sharman? Damien Sharman had his number at Moomba in Melbourne, Australia. Will he have it here in Zachary this time around? Ladies and gentlemen, your new leader, Freddy Kruger, 217.
All right, Damien, you can hang out here for a bit more if you'd like till the end of the set, but as soon as the Nightmare comes in, he footage you, man. You're going to have to go down. But great jumping. Great skiing, man. Here, where's that cold beverage? There you go.
That just about gives Bill
Sharman.
Doster enough time to take a few shots of him, but he's celebrating with his fans. Damien Sharman. He's just been eliminated out of the hot seat. He jumped 216 feet, but he has a guaranteed third place right now. One more jumper on the dock ready to go. That's Zach Warden. He jumped 225 feet in the preliminary round. All right.
Here you go. Coming into the course, jump number 2. He's your new leader, opening up with his biggest jump of the weekend so far. Of course, 217 this afternoon, 217 right now. About the same spot with a turn. He's coming in hot and can't handle the speed totally as he crushes a bit on the ramp there, but able to handle it right away on 2 skis. That's the most important thing. So Freddy Krueger, one more jump, Tony. We got to get loud.
Yes, indeed. It's not often that you see Freddy Krueger lay an egg on a particular jump, but like I said, very, very rare that you see Freddy Krueger off form on any particular jump. He has jumped 217 feet. Do not forget that. He is your leader, but he wants to jump a little bit further to put some heat on this last man on the dock.
Get
Let's
up!
give it up for Freddy Krueger.
Get up, get up, get up, get up, get loud. One more jump for the Nightmare, Mr. Freddy Krueger.
And you know, even when I was jumping in my prime, 192 feet was barely within my dreams, really. But on that jump there, that was 192 feet, and really that was really less than perfect from Freddy Krueger. So, there you go. Freddy Krueger, current world jump champion, current world jump record holder, current U.S. Masters jump champion. There are very few jump titles or records that he hasn't owned at one time or another.
All right, well, this is it for Freddy. One more jump, 217. He's got one skier after him. He'd love to push it out there just a little bit further. All right, Tony, going a little bit later on this one. Oh, my. Can he handle the heat? And he can. He gets up way over the tips. Big height on that. Big, big jump for Mr. Freddy Krueger.
And you know the telltale sign when he knows that he's connected, he will land and he'll hop about 3 times after that landing. He is excited, he is pumped, and he just cannot wait for the distance to come through.
All right, let's get loud. Let's get loud. Give it up, Freddy, the Nightmare Krueger.
Okay, that last jump for Freddy Krueger, 215, but that doesn't matter because he jumped 217 on the opening distance. That currently puts him in first place with 1 skier remaining.
All right, so, Tony, we will see very consistent jumping from Freddy. 217, 215. I know he would have liked to put it out there a little bit further for our last competitor, but hey, he is the leader. He's going to come sit in the hot seat with me, and we will see if that's enough to take LA Night Jam title number.
Okay, let's give it up from Deltona, Florida, number 1 seed in the men's jump final. This is Zach Warden.
All right, Zach, definitely one of the young guns out here these days, 18, 19 years old, just finished his first semester at ULM, so first time being top seed. We'll see if he can handle the pressure out there on the water, but this kid can fly far.
And before we send Freddie up to the hot seat, Freddie, you jumped 215 feet, 1 foot further than Damien Sharman. Do you think it will hold up?
No, I don't. I think Zach's ready for this. He's been couple years in the making for the grooming of getting his first title, and that door is wide open. That was decent jumping, but that was not great jumping, and he's a great jumper.
Ladies and gentlemen, Flores NBA graduate student from LSU and our lead skier. Let's give it up, please, for Freddy Krueger.
Here you go. Jump number 1, 19 years old, Zach Warden. Woo! Tony.
Woo!
A little bit late on that guy right there.
Oh, yes, he brought some heat. Kind of like the heat that we had from our fire dancer that's up and down the shoreline, but he has 2 jumps remaining. You only get 3 attempts at this ramp at any given time. And I'll tell you one thing. It could come down to inches. Could come down to centimeters even. And Freddie knows it too.
All right, Tony. Well, Zach passed on that first one. Definitely took a late look at it. Just wasn't super comfortable, so very smart. He's got 2 more jumps. He's got to keep his composure out there, Tony. This is first time, I believe, being top seed in a pro event. Not sure totally, but, he's hungry for that first victory. Would love to knock it out here nothing bigger than taking the LA Night Jam jump title. But let's give it up. Get loud. He can hear you. Get loud for Zach Worden.
And I tell you what, he's certainly capable of it. Jumped for the first time last year in the NCWSA National Collegiate Water Ski Championships and brought home the gold in the men's jump event, along with the team overall title for the Warhawks of Louisiana Monroe. He'll be coming into this fall as a sophomore, but I'll tell you what, he is no slouch out there on the jump ramp whatsoever. He has made it into most of the professional jump finals within the last year or so, including this one. I actually ended up third in the LA Night Jam 2. We'll see if he can go a wee bit higher. Refusal on the first jump. What has he got on the second? Make some noise! Oh. And I'll tell you what, Tad, Freddie on the hot seat now is really fancying his chances here. That second jump was late. He was out of shape. He took it, and unfortunately, he didn't take a particularly good jump.
Well, I'll tell you what, Tony. Zach going to leave it all out on the water. He's not going to baby it. He's going to give it everything he's got. One more jump, ladies and gentlemen. One more jump to see who is our Night Jam champion. Get up, get loud, give it up for Zach Worden.
And I'll tell you one thing. This is going to be one of those clutch performances if he can pull it off. This is going to be comparable to Michael Jordan taking that three-point shot in his very final game for the Chicago Bulls against the Utah Jazz in the NBA Finals in that year.
That's right, Tony. Leaving it up to the last jump. You can't get more exciting than that. That's what the LA Night Jam is all about. And they are rounding the island right now. That Night Jam Special Edition Mastercraft. Tony, it doesn't get much better than this. Zach Worden coming in, jump number 3.
All right, folks, can you stand the suspense? Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear some noise. This is the final jump. Come on.
All right, here you go, turning in. This is it for all the marbles. Zach Worden putting it out there.
Close.
Putting the heat on our leader, Freddie Krueger. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. I don't know, Tony. What do you think?
I am hugging Nikki Lee very closely right now because she has the radio and she has the distance.
Let's give it up as he...
Ladies and gentlemen, 3-time LA Night Jam champion Freddie Krueger, 217. 208. And ladies and gentlemen, standing on the dock next to me, Mr. Zach Worden, 208. You had the chance to pull off the upset. You jumped 225. You put Freddie Krueger on the defensive after the first round, so what happened?
I just tried to go out there and attack it the same as I did in practice, and had a little more speed than I was expecting, and, I just didn't quite put it all together like I wanted to, and there'll be more tournaments, so we'll get them again.
So you're used to Louisiana crowds or Louisiana support, and what have you got to say about LA Night Jam 3?
This is by far the best event that all year, and we look forward to this one. And regardless of my set, man, I'm still happy to be here, and glad I got to be a part of this, and hope you guys all had a good time watching us sling our sandals over the ramp.
Ladies and gentlemen, 208 feet. Let's give it up, please, for Zach Worden.
All right, and don't go anywhere. We still have our awards presentation. I need June Fladberg, Natalia Bernikova, Regina Jaquist to come over here to the stage, as well as our top 3 men. We've already got the Nightmare over here right now enjoying a Bud Light, so he'll stay up here and get, we need Damian Sharman and our third place contestant as well. So please make your way over to stage. We still have our awards presentation. Don't go anywhere. Tony, what an event this has been, coming down to that last jump here in the men's event.
Yes, indeed, Tad. It is an epic of an event, no matter which way you cut it. We have Freddie with the win. We have, in third place, we have Jason Seals and Damien in second place. So those are your top three. They don't need to be moving too far away right now. We're going to award the checks for our top three competitors in the women's and the men's event. So, but don't move too far, because we will have the award presentations. We need Mr. Jim Stanley, we need Ray Stokes, and we need Arn Clow to the starting dock.
Okay.
Actually, to the Budweiser hot seat stage, as we are about to award those important checks.
All right, we got the big checks over here. My friends from Budweiser helping me hold the big checks for the ladies. We're getting the guys over here soon. But yes, Ray Stokes, Jim Stanley, we got Arn Clow here right now, of course, from Mastercraft. We're going to get the awards going here any moment. What an outstanding evening here at the LA Night Jam. Arn, if you could stand in here with me for a second. And first of all, huge thanks to Mastercraft. Thank you so much for being here, supporting the event. Without guys like you and boats like these, well, this just wouldn't happen.
Well, Mastercraft's very proud to be part of this event. What a great event. Yeah, make sure you're thanking the Bennett staff and Jay and for putting on a great event here, and Zachary. Zachary, thanks for coming out tonight. It was a great event. Thanks again from Mastercraft.
All righty, Arn Clow from Mastercraft. Big thanks to all our sponsors. Of course, Mastercraft, our title sponsor here this evening. We've got the likes of Global Marine Insurance, Stoke Skis, Conley Skis, many, many, many more. Huge thanks to all the sponsors and as well all the Bennett staff. Jay, Amy, all you guys, I know you'll be up here in a little bit. All the officials on site, big shout out to them. But Tony, what a night we had here at the LA Night Jam between our women, with June Flatberg taking the title, Alex Lorentano leaving it to the last jump and making it very scary for everybody here. And then you had Zach Wharton leaving it up and almost taking it out of the Nightmare's hands.
Yes, indeed, and some great action. But we have checks here. You know the expression, talk is cheap. We need to start handing out some money in the women's jump competition. The sponsor for that competition, let's give it up, please, for Stoke Skis. Let's give it up, please, for Mr. Ray Stokes.
All right, if we could get June Flatberg, Regina Jaquist, and Natalia Bernikova over to the stage. June Flatberg, Regina Jaquist, and Natalia Bernikova over to the stage if you guys want some big, humongous checks.
All right, looks like we got Natalia on our way. We got Regina on our way too, and June Flatberg, she is on her way as well. So in about a couple of minutes, we should have our top three in this event. There you go.
All right, well, I see some of our women coming over on the men's side. Of course, Freddie Krueger, Damian Sharman, Jason Seals. If you boys could get on over as well, we'll be handing out some checks to you from a very good-looking Mr. Jim Stanley of Global Marine Insurance. Maybe he'll have some of the Budweiser girls help him out as well with that. June Flatberg, I see you. Okay, I think we are ready to go right here, Tony. We've got our top three women here. We've got Ray Stokes. Big shout out to Stoke Skis. But Without further ado, our third place finisher in the women's side of the LA Night Jam. Give it up for Miss Regina Jaquez. All right, and in second place, Women's Pro Jump Event LA Night Jam, Miss Natalia Berdnikova. And getting the job done once again. She's become pretty familiar with the top spot here at the LA Night Jam. Your winner, Miss June Flatberg.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a humongous round of applause to Regina Jaquez, Natalia Berdnikova, and your winner of LA Night Jam 3, June Flatberg. And Ray, why don't you say a few words for us as we celebrate these wonderful ladies? Ray, what do you have to say?
Big thanks to Soak Skis, of course, and well, just thanks for coming. Thanks for supporting the event.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a great event, and well done to the Bennetts, and definitely well done to all the girls. It's really good to watch. You know, it's a top effort by all three of them, or all the girls, the top six. You know, and also a big thanks to Amy Bing too. A lot of work that she's done behind the scenes. Fantastic job.
Okay, we need our men competitors to come up, but whilst they do, let me hand the microphone over to our victor, June Flatberg. 3 times in a row, LA Night Jam jump champion. Impressive to say the least, wouldn't you say?
Oh, I don't know. These girls are bringing the best out in me. Natty obviously put a 66 out there, so I had to give it a bit of a kick. So I just want to get this opportunity to say thanks to Ann and Jay and the whole Bennett staff, Mastercraft especially. Thanks for all the sponsors, Stoke Skis. Everybody, thank you very much for supporting this event and all the great cheering. That's awesome. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause once again for our top 3 finishers in the women's competition. Regina Jaquez, Natalia Berdnikova, and your champion, June Flatberg. All right, we need our men competitors. We need Jason Seals, Damian Sharman, and Freddy Krueger.
All right, we still got our men's checks to give away. We got Jim Stanley. We got our lovely Budweiser ladies. Thank you, ladies, very much for all the hard work this evening. Let's hear it for our girls from Budweiser.
And here we go. Another man comes to you, Tad. He's bearing checks. He is none other than Mr. Global Marine Insurance himself, Mr. Jim Stanley.
That's right, Jim. Big thanks to Global Marine and for coming out and supporting the event. Guys like you and companies like yours that help make all this stuff possible.
Well, we'd like to thank Jay Bennett and the whole Bennett's crew, Arn Clow from Mastercraft for really making this happen. We're glad to support it. It's a great event, and we look forward to doing it again next year. So we're glad to be here.
All right, well, big thanks to you. But, Tony, I believe I see our top 3 men just standing right around the stage, so let's get rocking and rolling.
Yes, without further ado, let's present the checks to the top 3 competitors in the men's jump competition. With a best jump of 208 feet, let's give it up, please, for Great Britain's Jason Seals. He will take 3rd place. Jim Stanley will hand him a huge check. All right, folks, in 2nd place, also for Great Britain with 216 feet, Damian Sharman. All right, receiving his 2nd place check from Jim Stanley of Global Marine Insurance. And ladies and gentlemen, LA Night Jam 1 champion, LA Night Jam 2 champion, and now LA Night Jam 3 champion. Let's give it up, please, for Mr. Freddy Krueger, 217 feet.
Let's give it up one more time for our top 3 men's Night Jam finishers.
Fantastic performances. Jason Seals, 208. Damien Sharman, 216. And Freddie Krueger just inching ahead there with 217 feet. I tell you, Freddie, it happens year after year. You're like Kobe in the clutch with that last jump. Fantastic skiing. What do you have to say to this wonderful Louisiana crowd?
Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out. Definitely want to throw a huge thanks to Jay and Ann and Mastercraft, Global Marine, all the sponsors. You know, guys, it's been an incredible ride here these last 3 years. I've won by 1/10 of a meter, maybe a foot or two, and again a foot this year. And I feel very blessed to be standing up here in front of you guys one more time. And thanks for everybody coming out. Thanks to Amy Bing, the entire Bennett staff, everybody walking around here in one of these fluorescent green shirts. If you don't know them, just hand them a beer, slap them on the back, tell them thanks, because without these guys killing themselves this week, including Damien here, who probably only didn't win because he's tired, without these guys, we got nothing. So, you know, tell them thanks, grab your trash, and we'll see you next year, guys. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, your top 3 men's competitors. Jason Seals in 3rd place with 208. Damien Sharman with 216. And your 3-time LA Night Jam champion, Mr. Freddie Krueger with 217. All right, folks. Okay, we're almost done. And I'm going to hand over the microphone to one of the people that has made this all possible. She has been here through thick and thin, from LA Night Jam 1 to right now to LA Night Jam 3. Ladies and gentlemen, please, Amy Bing, please share, send a message to me. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the lady that's made it all possible from Kansas, Amy Bing.
I just want to say thanks, y'all, for coming out tonight, and a special thanks to the Bennett's family and the Bennett staff. They've been out here sweating and working all week to put this thing on. Also to our sponsors, Mastercraft Boats. This would not be possible without Arn Clow out here working, and Mastercraft Boats. Global Marine Insurance, Inmar, Conley, Mockler, Hancock Bank, and All-Star Scion from Baton Rouge. The lights tonight were provided by Turner, and all the sound is custom audio and video. And, of course, all the Budweiser. So thank you all for coming out tonight, and thanks to the competitors. I think the band is going to play one more set. Feel free to hang out, have some more drinks, and thanks y'all for coming.
All right, well, what an exciting weekend it's been, Amy. Big shout-out, big thanks to you. We've been live, Tony, all night on LANightJam.com. It has been an insane night here at Bennett's. Can't get much better. Oh, I believe we have some words from Mr. Jim Stanley.
I'd like to give a big thanks to Tony and Tad for rocking the mics, keeping it entertaining. Thank you, the announcers. Everybody give it up for these guys.
Rocking it. And we thank our audience, as you mentioned, Tad. This went out on a live webcast globally. We're seen in Australia. It's the early part of the afternoon on Sunday there. It's very, very early in the morning in the United Kingdom and in Central Europe. And we are so very glad that all of you out there were watching us, as indeed our live crowd here in Zachary, Louisiana. We hope to do it again next year for LA Night Jam 4, and we appreciate your support through thick and thin. My name's Tony Lightfoot. He's Tad Schreiber. Tad, you've got some words to say before we quit? All right, I think he's all voiced out. I've got a little bit more in me. Only enough to say good night, and we hope to see you again right here next year, hopefully, for LA Night Jam 4.